look, mate, it's James's 60s Morris. We haven't seen this since it nearly cooked its engine just being plugged up with filth. Raw filth. But that's fixed now, and mechanically it's pretty good, except for the gearbox that's trying to explode. But it does have a massive issue that just makes it a death trap to want to drive, and something that was just gonna take forever. But I promised to James that he'd be able to fix this car. He's been nugless for years. Man has not had a nug in ages, a drivable nug. I originally promised he wasn't gonna work on my CLS, and then he had to work on my CLS, and I promised to him that then we would get his Morris back on the road. And what awful issue does it have that it's just gonna stop us from just driving it around? Fugly levels of rust. Proper rot. This is like, oh no, levels of like, you buy a car and then you find that the whole floor is just like paper thin, and you could stomp your foot through it if you wanted to. And even the firewall is rotted out, which is in between the engine and the cabin, which is just nightmare fuel. Well, time to get started then.
You know you got a good car when you can vacuum it up. Listen to those noises. That's what you want. That's the best noises. The vacuum cleaner end for?
The Mr. vent.
Is it?
Yeah, look, I'm pulling the other one out now.
Oh, jeez. They don't do it like that anymore. Are we glad? I don't know. I mean, it's pretty stout.
Yeah.
I was thinking metal. Both wheel wells, huh?
Yeah, but no, I'm looking up in here. This is what I'm gonna fix
nice.
up here.
Oh, yeah.
There's 2 layers here, and it goes through to the firewall. Well, it looked okay.
It was
at
$1,000.
first.
It was cheap. How bad is it?
I'm not happy.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, but the wind wouldn't do that.
This is turning into a big repair.
Oh, I figured this from the get-go. I thought we were throwing most of the car away and you were going to just start making it from scratch.
Pretty much how it's gonna be, yeah.
James has to take all of this out. All this stuff that he put in, it's all coming out. All of this devastating rust damage from the wheel wells to this firewall to the floor and everything. It's because these stupid vents at the top. And James, he told me the designer knew it.
Yeah, the designer, from what I understand, the designer was told there was a rust trap in the bottom corners of the A panels in each side, and he just said, go with it.
Yep, and go with it they did. Look at these brand new parts. Look at that, cap's already gone.
It splits, they split.
Yep, like, this isn't fun. Like, brand new stuff doesn't last months, let alone decades.
It wasn't from me touching it either, it's just from sitting.
Yeah, it's just, everything's crap now. This is why hunting for rust is so scary. Look at this, looks like solid. Nah. Oh, stop that. Someone would be tempted just to weld up all those little holes, but it's like paper. It's...
What happens is as soon as you hit it with the welder, the hole gets bigger.
Yeah.
So you never win.
No. Oh yeah! That's awesome. That's heaps good. Wow, look at these bits James has made. Wow! I mean, he hasn't done a good job on this one. Oh, wait a minute, that's the proper one. Oh, sorry, they look kind of the same there. Oh, so tidy. This is what it is. You bend new steel and you weld it in. You can't fix that. Wondering how James is getting these wonderful angles. It's like you just make your own anvil. I mean, it's called hammers, and there's a piece of right angle here. Yeah, and you just go tapper, tapper, tapper. I mean, because this stuff is thin. So the awkward bit about this is that, you know, like bare steel rusts overnight, like really, really quickly. I mean, it helps here in South Australia, it's dry AF. So we get away with it for the most part. But you gotta cover up the steel. That's what paint's job really is. You gotta put primer in here, but how do you do it in the spots that you gotta weld over? So apparently James is some sort of magical weld over primer or something. I don't know, watch James weave magic or something. Like a fine banjo, look at this. It's the intricate tuning phase. Just gotta keep lining it up and then drawing where it doesn't quite fit. Hand tools. And also how thin this stuff is.
You probably cut it with scissors.
Oh yeah? Don't make me get you some.
You can.
Look at this, eh? Regular friggin' scissors.
Oh, they're the workshop scissors. I'm gonna ruin them.
I'll get you different ones. Oh! All right. I owe you a jelly bean.
I don't even know. It didn't even ruin the scissors.
George! Didn't you just fix the rust by cutting it out? Looks good with the copper.
Yeah.
Oh, and when you're welding, I mean, James will have proper gloves on. You notice the jacket? The main reason is for sunburn, UV exposure. You see the tradies getting their iced coffees and they've got the most hardcore sunburn in the middle of winter? Welding damage.
It's not going well, I have to say. Immediately kind of
Yeah, it's sunk in a little bit because like you want it perfectly lined up, you know, where it's meant to be. And as soon as James went to put it in, it fell in. And so now he's gonna grind that off.
It's a shame that smells so poisonous. I love it.
yeah, I know.
James is almost ready for the big weld. I mean, you do spot welds to start with because the metal warps. It's so thin. If you just start at one end and work to the other, it would literally curl out like a Pringle. And so you gotta dot it in, and James has been massaging it the entire time. Look at this, because overlapping slightly, he's gotta kink it under. So once all the spot welds are in, and like it's not really gonna warp anymore because, you know, all the heat will dissipate on the rest of the car body, then you do the big welds. Oh man, that looks fantastic. Wow. No, that's amazing. And wow, once the beige paint goes on, you'd never know that had all been rusted and cut out and re-welded in.
That's the plan.
That took 3 days. I want to see this beige match.
It's not gonna match.
Quite a bit lighter, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I
did you
matched
paint-
it on memory.
You matched it from memory.
From memory.
This is what James's memory looks like.
I was at Bunnings and I just was looking at the caps. and
One
I'm like,
memory color, please.
I reckon that color looks kind of like what I remember my car looking like.
James eyeballed it.
I did.
From back here, the blend is not bad. I mean, it's better than it was. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, it's wheel well time. And then the floor. But James has started the other side. Look how much you gotta cut out. Right, that's the problem. That's why, you know, they call rust on cars cancer, because there's not a lot you can do with it. There is rust treating stuff, but it's gone. You gotta cut it out. Look, it's like spot welded all through the middle. It's weird. They don't make cars like this anymore, but that's gone. You can't convert that into anything other than air.
Bit of welding, bit of grinding, bit of painting later, mate, before she's mint. And now, James has this spare floor that he cut out a few weeks ago out of his old Morris, which was far more rusty, but not in the floor. So, you know, you got lucky there.
Yeah, so there's no holes, but it's thin as cheese. You can see it slowly coming together. It's just one zap at a time, just massaging all these bits and panels into this thing. Some of it's going to be treated, like to just stop the rust, but yeah, a lot of it had to come out.
I'm priming.
Very clever, James. James has finished the welding. Ah, so much better. And woof, that's it. This took about three weeks to a month to do. But I mean, it looks amazing. Woo! Now it's actually safe to go on the road with, you know, and then watch the gearbox explode. Oh, the smells. It's like metal sand, basically. That's how much of this grinding dust there is. Oh, it sounds good. It's moving. We're risking everything with this trip. We're not going to get Vietnamese rolls if we don't make it. Yeah, James hand signaling. runs good.
Running heaps. Awesome. Ah, there we go.
What, more choke?
Yeah.
See, this was driving. Oh, she's lumpy.
It's because I got too much choke on.
Yeah, look, you got to dingle the car yourself. Oh. Oh yeah, almost 30 mile an hour. Oh cool, you got no temp gauge
Nah,
with its history of blowing its head off.
no fuel gauge either. I hope there's petrol in it.
You don't know there's petrol in it.
There's probably petrol in it.
Why do you set yourself up for failure like this? This isn't funny failure. James just tinkered with it. Oh man, it's a half a tank. And the temp's okay. So good being in public and you see someone's like nice Mazda and you cut back to this. Oh, James, no, you're going down the rabbit hole, man. You've just...
I've done it. I have to.
Look, now you have to do the whole car. Oh, look how good the bonnet looks with these, like, rag wipes. Gosh. You're not cleaning that off, are you? You have to earn that.
Yeah, I know.
You have to, that's alive, too. That's living. That is a sentient being.
I think it's
earn
gonna,
that
it's gonna
mess.
have to go though.
It's going to take ages to get that back, you know. They're one of the only cars you can wash with a toilet brush. Oh, it smells great. It smells like the beach. We've invented our own tools. $300 an hour if you want to use this. Right? We can set the price because this is our invention. Don't tell me it's just a chamois on the end of a dingle arm.
Boy, that wax and polish was worth it because it looks fantastic now. This is good enough for me. I mean, James would love to fully respray, but personally, I just drive it like this. I wouldn't be bothered with any little imperfections. And an amazing thing about the old paint is just how shiny it is. Like, modern cars are covered in orange peel. Like, Ferraris, Lambos, mate, doesn't matter. But in the old days, they actually gave a damn. And that's why it just looks so shiny. But we're not done, mate, because we're going to figure out, like, you know, how fast does it go 0 to 60? This is the oldest car that's gone up onto this. Yes, the gearbox might explode, but James has given me permission to smash it as hard as possible. I mean, it's double the engine than Tony, while also being a desolate nugget, so it's got to be at least faster than Tony, but dang, I hope it's quicker than the donkey van. Surely quicker than the donk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I don't think we're going to make it. No, I'm going to run out of room. Oh, you hear the gearbox. Oh, God. Yeah, that was good. Wow, the floor gets really warm. Oh, the trans mount's not sounding good. 2.1 gig, 8.8.
No, it wasn't. And that was all I could give it. James didn't know it could do 60 in second gear. Well, I found out that it absolutely can. And the G-force, in other words, like how hard it pushes you into the seat when it takes off, like four-wheel drive Prado at the top, mate, CLS, you know, big V8 power. And yeah, it's somewhere in the middle, which is funny given how slow it is, which just seems to be a desolate nug sort of thing. And after absolutely thrashing on it so hard, I guess you wouldn't want to take it up to highway speeds for the first time.
It's noisy. It's revving really hard. Well, I mean, it means we can't hear the gearbox at least. But it's doing okay. We're approaching the hill. It's actually gotten to this point. So, you get in the fast lane, James.
I know, because this guy's going slow.
Oh man, when it's singing, we're doing an overtake. Oh wow, it's so refined at these speeds, I'm not worried at all.
Can't go any faster. It's going back down again now.
Oh, are you flat foot?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got a bit of a Tony syndrome.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm smelling. It's probably that truck.
It's the truck. It smells like diesel.
Yeah.
Had me worried for a moment.
Morris is doing it though.
Yeah.
This is almost tolerable. Oh gosh, some noise. You need the windows down. It's summer here in Australia. Beautiful day though.
So yeah, this took ages. Actually cutting out the parts and finding all the other bits. This was probably a good 2 months. 2 months to turn this thing around, but it's totally worth it. This is such a cool car. Honestly, I would rather daily this than Bruce 2. I mean, not in terms of safety, but in terms of fun to drive. Like, the automatic in Bruce 2 is so crap. There's no throttle response, whereas this thing is slow as F. Like, really slow, but you get all of it. All the way down on the accelerator pedal does something. I don't know. It's really, really fun to work with. I can really see why James just absolutely fell in love with this thing and why he's driven it for so long. And my blood oath has been repaid for the misery that has been the CLS, which is still ongoing as well. But hey, James has a nug again, so we're all happy.